everybody, today I want to make a video about the Beatles' debut album, Please Please Me. It is probably one of the best debut albums by any band ever, and it's certainly one of my favorite albums. It's just classic early rock and roll, and obviously this is what got the Beatles' career just rolling along. But I wanted to talk specifically today about this pressing of Please Please Me. This is the best pressing of Please Please Me I've ever heard, and I just listed this on my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com, and so you can go on there, check it out. I wrote a whole write-up about this, but I wanted to talk about this because it has something very, very special about it, which makes it, in my opinion, sound amazing. But first off, let me show you what the record looks like. So it's on the Apple label, and this is a mid-1970s reissue, and this record is in really, really nice shape. Definitely a near mint record, and it's dead quiet. There's hardly any surface noise at all, and which is really what you want when it comes to a Beatles record. The cool thing about this record, besides the fact that it sounds amazing, is you get the great album cover, but it's a little bit different. Up in this corner, you have the Apple logo, and then you have what says EMI Electrola. So, and I have over here just this normal stereo pressing of this, so you can see the difference. The normal one, the British, has the Parlophone little logo right there. Then you get this like strip along here that says stereo. This is also stereo, and I also have the a mono later pressing as well, just so you can see what the mono looks like. But for the purpose of this video and for what I want to have on my website, this is a stereo copy of the Beatles' Please Please Me album. Now, why does this record sound so great? Why is it the best, according to me? Well, maybe some of you have heard of another Please Please Me album released in Germany known as Die Beatles, D-I-E Beatles. Has a different cover than this, and I will show that to you right here. It was released in 1966, and some of those pressings of that record are known to sound phenomenal and are amazing, and they go for big, big bucks. And I have heard a copy of that. I don't own it myself, but I have a friend who owns it, and I've listened to it, and it does sound really, really good. But I also did a little inspection on that record, and I found out that the stampers on that record are -2. Now, when it came to trying to find a record to put on my website that sounded amazing, I decided to do a little test, and I found out that a lot of the German pressings have the same stampers, just different covers. And this one happens to have the exact same stampers as that very famous Die Beatles album, -2. So this has -2 on both sides. Now, what makes this pressing so special is that this was cut from a master tape that has not been EQ'd and it has not been compressed at all. It's exactly as the master tape was that the Beatles and George Martin made in 1963 at EMI Studios. So with most records, most of the time, anytime it's cut or made into a new record, it's given a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression. And so that's why each pressing of a record is always so different, because each pressing plant can add or take away a little bit of EQ or a little bit of whatever they need to do in order to make that specific cut of the master plate work for them. But what's so special about this is that this is about as pure as you can get when it comes to Please Please Me. This is about one step away from actually having the master tape right in front of you and listening to that off of the original 2-track machine that it was recorded onto. So this is a very, very special sounding record. And on top of that, obviously that's all well and good when you hear all the information, but how does it sound? It sounds amazing. This has more bass than you have ever heard on a Please Please Me album. Right away, when you hear the very first song, I Saw Her Standing There, I almost dropped the record, but I caught it. When you hear I Saw Her Standing There, Paul McCartney's bass is just so present and just thumping along, and it is truly, truly glorious. Another really, really great aspect about this pressing is that all the instruments are just a lot more powerful, and you really get an idea that this is how the Beatles sounded in those early club dates, where they were just learning how to do their amazing rock and roll sound, that raw rock and roll early Beatles sound, and that is present on this record. Another very amazing thing about this record is the clarity of the vocals. Some pressings of Please Please Me tend to have kind of washed out, semi kind of like distant vocals, but that's not the case on here. The vocals on here are very present. They sound full-bodied, very, very warm, and just really, really a nice listening experience. In fact, a key song on here that I think sounds so great is Baby It's You. There's just a certain sonic quality about it on this pressing that really made me appreciate that song way more than I ever have before. I've always liked the song, obviously. Beatles didn't write it. It's a song by Burt Bacharach, and Hal David, I think, is the other one, but it's definitely by Burt Bacharach. But the Beatles cover is excellent, and on this pressing, it just sounds so good. Another really great thing about this pressing is it reveals instrumental parts that I've never even heard before. For example, on the song Chains, when it goes to the bridge, right before George sings the word please, there's a guitar like slide up that I think George is doing that I've never heard before, but I heard it on this pressing. So there's a lot more detail happening on this record than you get on like the normal Please Please Me pressings, and it just sounds absolutely phenomenal. And I think any Beatles fan that doesn't have this German pressing of Please Please Me would be so happy to have it in their collection and to just hear it. It's almost like you're hearing this album for the first time. It sounds that good. So head on over to needlemeetsvinyl.com, check out my write-up of this record, and I gotta say, just yesterday I posted the Revolver album. It already sold. It sold within less than 24 hours. I think it sold within like 10 hours of it being posted. So, as I've mentioned before, when these Beatles albums get posted on the website, they go so quickly. And I try to announce them first on my YouTube channel here. So before I do like Instagram or I send out any other type of messages, I always want to announce it here on YouTube first. So all of my viewers, you guys can all get first dibs on it. So if you want to check it out, want to pick it up, you have a pretty good shot of getting it. That being said, I gotta say that I'm just so thankful, as always, all of you that are so supportive of my website. And I gotta say this too, because this is very important. I really do appreciate all of you who have gone through this kind of like mini transition with me, where I'm talking a lot about my website. I understand that like maybe you just want to have videos of me talking about Beatles albums and not plugging this website. I get that might be a bit of a weird change, but all of you have been so cool about it, and I really appreciate that. And while there have been a couple people who have unsubscribed to my channel, that's okay. I understand, no problem. But those of you who have been so supportive, it really does mean a lot to me. And I will always try to make these videos more about the music and about the content of these pressings, and it's more about giving information. And yeah, if you want to buy this record, that's cool too. And obviously I'm trying to start a side business, so I'm trying to plug that. But really, these videos, even after the records have sold, for example, like that Revolver video that I just posted, my last video, that record is already sold, but that video still has a lot of information in it that will be useful to some people, hopefully in the future. So that's kind of my goal on this channel. But anyway, I do want to say, maybe for some of those of you who have just started watching my channel, I know I got some new subscribers in the last couple of weeks, just a little backstory about my website. My website is called needlemeetsvinyl.com, and what I do is I find classic albums that I love and that I know other people are going to love, and I list and I find the best sounding versions of those albums. And I know a lot of people might say, well, how is it possible that one record can sound better than another. And the easiest way to try to describe that is that records are pressed, obviously, each time they're made into a record from vinyl, and that is just an imperfect process. So sometimes when a record's pressed, it's just the best it can be and it sounds great. Sometimes when it's pressed, it doesn't sound that great. And I'm sure any of you out there who have had any experience with collecting more than one copy of an album that you love, you know that they sound different. For example, I have right here, this is a copy of Layla by Derek and the Dominoes that I just picked up for the website. I'm trying to find really good sounding copies of Layla for the website. This is one on the RSO label, looks like that. This doesn't sound very good, but in my own collection, I have two other copies of Layla, which I can pull out right here. They're in there kind of tight, but let me get them out here. There's this copy, which sounds excellent, and this is on the yellow Atco label, and it sounds really, really good. So I've been trying to find a copy that's like my copy to put on the website. But I have 3 copies of Layla here, and they all sound so different. So basically the whole point of my website, like I was saying earlier, is to find the best sounding copies of these amazing albums. And when I started setting out to do this, I got the idea about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, that I thought maybe I wanted to have a website where I would sell records like that. But I wanted it to be a little bit different, and I really wanted the quality to be top notch, and I didn't want to cut any corners. And so far, I have not done that, and I've really taken my time. I really do my homework and try to find the best sounding records out there. So, yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of a backstory about the website, what it's about. And speaking of the website, I have posted a few other albums that are non-Beatle related that I wanted to show you very quickly. Just posted this Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti album. This is a double album. Sounds absolutely fantastic. If you haven't heard this album, but you probably have because it's a classic record, it's just an excellent, excellent, excellent record by Led Zeppelin. Then this is a very, very cool one. This is a absolutely near mint copy of the Rolling Stones double album, Exile on Main Street. This actually comes with the original postcards that originally came with the album, and I've never seen them ever, but this one has it. And this sounds phenomenal. So this is a great one as well. And then this band album, this is on the Green Capital Target label, and this is a Robert Ludwig Sterling pressing of this album, and it sounds unbelievable. This is the band's second album, and it's my favorite band album. It's just got so many amazing songs. So if you love the band, this is on the website, needlemeansvinyl.com. Check it out. And then I did make a video for this one, but I'll show it again just really quickly. This is the band's live album, Rock of Ages. Again, this is also on the Green Target label, which is kind of odd because the Green Target label stopped being used in 1971, and yet this is a 1972 record. So kind of an oddity there. Then I posted this Nielsen album, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. This is Nielsen Sings Newman. This is Harry Nielsen singing the songs of Randy Newman, and it's just got Harry Nielsen's voice and Randy Newman's piano, and it is one of the best sounding records you'll ever hear. Just a very, very beautiful, beautiful record, and this is on the RCA orange label. Last but not least, this is a very, very cool record. This is an original pressing of Joe Cocker's album Mad Dogs and Englishmen. This is a live record with Leon Russell and Rita Coolidge and a bunch of just amazing, amazing musicians. And this is a double album as well, and it just sounds phenomenal. It's on the original A&M label there. So go check out all those new additions to the website, and make sure to check out this Please Please Me album, all on needlemeansvinyl.com. And please, in the comments below, if you have any questions or comments, I love reading everything you guys have to say. All of our discussions I really look forward to them. I'll like just be doing something else and I'll see it activate on my phone that I have a notification, and it's really exciting. So that's it for now, and like I said, check out this Please Please Me album on needlebeansvinyl.com, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.